So today I'm here with my friend Ralph, and we're going to talk a little bit about POCO. And I don't see too much online about POCO, so it's one of Ralph's favorite bands, I know. So how did you get introduced to POCO, or how did you find their music?
Okay, well, just to let you know, thank you very much for having me, Arden.
No problem.
Yeah. My first introduction to POCO was actually on WMEX radio.
Oh yeah,
Because that's what we used to listen to down here a lot, because the local radio station.
Well, I got it in Kingston too.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
WMEX. I listened to it when I was.
No, love WMEX. Anyway, well, the first POCO song I ever heard was from this album called Delivering.
Right.
Or Delivering.
Right.
And it's called Come On.
Oh yeah.
Couldn't stand it.
That's all right.
Hated the song.
All right.
Yeah.
It's a live album, isn't it?
Live album, yes. Actually, it's considered one of the best live albums by a lot of people.
Yeah.
Probably mostly POCO fans,
Yeah,
but you know,
course.
yeah.
It's their third album.
It's the third album they did. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. The first one that wasn't studio.
Right.
And that song was on the radio on WMEX. Actually, this particular album was recorded in Boston and New York.
Oh yeah.
They had a big following in the Boston area,
really?
apparently, at one
I
time.
didn't know that.
Yes. So anyway, so this song was on the radio,
Right.
and I was probably, 12, maybe, around 12 years old.
Just a young guy.
Yeah, couldn't stand the song.
yeah.
I hated it. I never wanted to hear POCO again. So that was my introduction to the band.
Right on.
All right.
Right.
Now, just to jump ahead a few years, I joined Columbia House.
Right. Of course, like all of us.
Probably for the 100th time. I can't really remember. And I ordered 10 albums,
Right.
or for
Whatever
a penny,
it was.
or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when the box came, I'm looking through the albums,
Right
and
on.
there's a POCO album in there called Cantamos.
Yeah.
All right. And I said to myself, oh no. I wanted to send it back.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But the cost involved and so on and,
Yeah.
and whatever, it just turned me off from it. So
Right.
I pulled this thing out. Beautiful cover, actually.
Yeah.
I like the way that it's done. There's the
Got the little die cut.
die
in there.
cut, yeah,
Yeah, right
die
there.
cut in it, and picture of the 4 members there in the back, and so on. Well, I put this on my turntable, and this is the actual album, by the way, that I
Yeah,
received,
yeah.
right, back in '75 or so. And I said, wow, I like that.
Yeah.
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 And I'll be honest with you, anybody out there that's looking for an album of country rock, and I don't mean that stuff they make today where everybody has those fake southern accents and so on. This, to me, is probably the best country rock album that you're going to find.
Right.
I
And
mean,
it is like you say, it's real country rock.
yes,
It's when
yeah.
Country rock was
Yeah,
in
I mean,
its prime, really. Right.
Yeah, with steel
75.
guitar and so
Yeah,
on and
yeah.
so forth. And just great. I mean, Rusty Young, who's unfortunately just passed away a few months ago,
Right.
on here, he plays a steel guitar. You think he's actually playing an organ.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know till years later that wasn't an organ on there.
Yeah.
It was actually him playing a steel guitar. So
I know. You
Yeah.
gave me a live video of them
yes,
when they had Richie Fury came back. And
Yes,
did a few songs,
yes,
And
yeah.
some of the work he was doing was pretty amazing to watch.
Oh, yes.
When he's really.
oh yeah, he's got to be one of the
The
best.
sound is just.
Yeah,
Just.
he's got to be one of the best
deadly.
steel guitar players there's
Yeah,
ever been.
absolutely.
In my opinion, anyway. So that was my real introduction to them, to where I said, "Oh, I got to check these guys out." You know, don't let one song be the the reason why I don't listen to them anymore. You know.
So where did you go from there?
Well, actually, I checked them out. I probably bought a few more albums from Columbia House. I don't really remember now. It's been so long.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But I mean, going back to their original album.
Yeah, that's the one that I got mine.
You've got that one too. There we go.
Used to have it on album.
Yeah.
But of course.
I've actually got it coming. I don't know what day you're going to see this, but it's actually in the mail, and it's their first album that they put out, Picking Up the Pieces. It's actually coming tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it fulfills my my POCO discography. I've got everything they've
You'll
done.
have everything on
everything
record.
they've done
On vinyl.
on vinyl.
Yes.
Yes, and on CD as well.
I got rid of most of mine,
Yeah,
unfortunately. But,
yeah. So this particular album, I mean, this was like they say was made from the ashes of Buffalo Springfield.
Yeah, that's how I got into them. I was a big Buffalo Springfield
Yeah.
fan, and then Richie Fury. POCO, what's this? And
Yes,
Picking Up
yeah.
the Pieces became a hit.
And Jim Messina, who I think
I didn't know much about him at the time.
I think
but
he just joined Buffalo Springfield
At the
to
end.
finish off the albums or
at the
something
end,
like that.
right
Yeah.
at the- when
Yeah.
Neil Young left,
Yeah.
he jumped in for a
Yeah.
while.
And another famous guy that was on this album, but his picture is not there. And if you notice right here, there's a dog. Well, that dog was actually Randy Meisner was on this album. He played bass and had some vocal parts on it as well. Well, he left the band in some sort of disagreement before the album came out.
Right.
So they painted him over, I guess.
We're not calling Randy Meisner a dog.
Oh, no. I love Randy Meisner.
So do I.
Yeah, but he left to do greater and bigger things, right?
Yeah,
with the Eagles, actually.
Yeah.
But they took his picture out and superimposed it
know,
with a dog.
I never knew that story, but that's a funny story.
Yeah, I think it is too. Yeah. Anyway.
So where'd you
Yeah.
go from there? What you got into their one album I didn't have was their second album,
Yes.
and you have that here.
Yes, I do. Yeah, it's just called POCO.
For some reason, that's one album I never got,
Yeah.
or the live album
Yeah.
either.
And the people who love POCO are called actually POCO Nuts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they call this one the Orange
I
album.
didn't know I was a Poco Nut.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just to interject.
Yeah,
here,
sure. Go ahead.
I got into From the Inside was the first album that I really got into, and then I started to go forward with Crazy Eyes, and which is a song about Graham Parsons, and they also cover Brass Buttons by Graham Parsons on here.
Excellent cover.
And this album here is a real rockin' album. Good Feeling to Know, which I had all these on album at one time, and then after that we get into sort of a different period. I think.
Yeah, but I'd just like to mention something.
Yeah.
A lot of these albums had great songs on them, especially this one, A Good Feeling to Know.
Oh, they're good.
Should have been a hit on the radio, but I think it might have hit like number 100 or number 90 on the top 40.
Unfortunately, the Eagles kind of took their popularity away.
Yeah, I think that's probably what happened.
And
Yeah.
I was a bigger Poco fan than I was an Eagles fan.
Yes.
Although it took a few years, and I did eventually get into the Eagles in retrospect. But I
Yeah.
never, at the time, I was listening to Poco.
Yeah, well, I think the Eagles sound was more polished,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Well, these guys were more,
A little more rockin' here and
rockin', yeah, and
But they had the country
Yeah,
influence.
I think maybe with a different producer, who knows
Yeah.
what may have happened.
Yeah.
Now, I'd like to bring you to me, which is the best song they ever did.
Okay.
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 It was written by Rusty Young. Now, Rusty Young didn't do any vocals in the first
No, I didn't-
umpteen albums.
I didn't think he did.
Yeah, he doesn't have the greatest voice in the world, but he can write a tune. This album is called Rose of Cimarron, and the title cut, Rose of Cimarron, to me has got to be the best country rock song ever. Actually, it was covered by Emmylou Harris.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't like her version because I knew this version
Yeah.
here, but just the instruments at the end
That's
of
a
this.
great song.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's lovely. The vocals are covered by Paul Cotton and Timothy B. Schmidt, who joined the POCO on their second album, and as some people probably know,
Yeah.
replaced Randy Meisner
Yeah.
in the Eagles.
Yeah. Round and around we
Yeah,
go.
as their bass player.
Yeah.
So very
And they're both
talented
high
guys.
singers too.
Yes.
They both
yes.
have that. They can do backgrounds and they can do sing.
Oh,
lead.
absolutely.
which is,
yeah, absolutely.
interesting.
But this is a wonderful album
It is.
as well. Again, great packaging.
Right.
Beautiful album. I'm not sure if this one here has. Is it Dan? Phil Hartman.
Oh, yeah.
Phil Hartman, the comedian,
Oh,
was
yeah.
a graphic design person.
Okay, and I
And
didn't know
he
that.
designed a lot of their albums. He also did some for America.
Oh, really?
And probably some other bands as well.
Oh,
I
didn't-
can't get this in
didn't
here
know that.
anymore, Arden, but anyway.
That's all right.
Throw it away.
We'll just put it aside here.
Yeah.
Sometimes things just don't work.
They don't work the way they should, yeah. So that leads me, okay, great song, probably their best song ever. Again,
Yeah.
probably
Great
in the
album.
country rock genre. That's probably, it's right up there for me anyway. Let's put it that way.
I've been picking up CDs by POCO, filling in the collection that I used to have on record. This came as a twofer, and it's got Cantamus and one of my favorites, POCO 7, which is kind of a rocky album for them. And in the mail I got Rose of Cimarron and Head Over Heels coming, which were the next two after these two. So
Both excellent albums.
yeah, they all are, yeah.
So again, this band, unfortunately, never scored any big hits.
No, they didn't.
With any of those albums. And
they,
then
they
came
never scored a big audience either. I mean, they just never.
no.
Things never.
It
went
just didn't
boom.
work the way it was. Great live shows.
Great.
People would show up to their live shows, but it didn't develop in any
Great
album sales. And there's also another thing too. Was the company actually putting any money into promoting them,
Yeah.
right? And at the time of Crazy Eyes, right, Richie Furay had already says,
Yeah.
you know, I'm getting out of here. And
Yeah.
David Geffen actually was after him,
Oh, yeah.
and wanted to form a super group,
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah,
Crosby,
yeah.
Stills, Nash,
Yeah.
and maybe Young, you know. So
J.D. Souther and Chris Hillman.
Chris Hillman, yeah, from the Byrds.
I didn't find those albums that great.
I've got both of them.
I had
Yeah.
both of them too. They
Yeah.
had some good songs.
There's some good
but
songs on them.
overall, they kind of tanked.
But super group wise,
Nah,
not really.
I'm not really. It didn't-
So anyway,
anyways,
so we got all these other albums that they did, and Timothy B. Schmidt left the band.
for the Eagles, of course.
Oh, we forgot one guy, the drummer, George Grantham.
Yeah,
He started right from the beginning.
He's a great drummer.
Yeah, he was in an old band with Rusty Young that
Oh,
you have some connection with
Yeah.
there as far as a movie that was made.
Psych Out.
Yeah, I've seen you mention that
I've
on
got a
videos.
review in my channel about Psych Out, the best hippie movie ever made.
Yeah.
Cheesy hippie movie.
And there's a song or two on there by a band. Is it Bonds? I forget the name. Bonsai Creek or something like that.
Weird name.
Yeah, but Rusty Young was in there, and so was the drummer George Grantham.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're playing like a Purple Haze sort of cover.
Backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. And
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson is fake playing guitar.
Yeah.
It was like
Really
it's
nuts.
the cheesiest
Really
movie you've
nuts.
ever seen.
Yeah.
But it's great. It's
Yeah.
great.
But anyway, I'm sorry to
Yeah.
forget George.
Yeah, he was a
George.
great drummer.
Yeah.
He got sick too somewhere along the line.
Later on, yes,
Yeah.
when they reformed, he
Yeah.
had a stroke and he never played with them again. He did a
Unfortunately.
few
He was such
little,
a good drummer though.
tambourine spot appearances or whatever,
Yeah.
you know. So anyway,
Yeah.
all there was left of the George Grantham left as well. So really, all there was left in the band were Paul Cotton, who they picked up from the Illinois Speed Press. He was on their fourth out from the inside. I think was his first
Oh,
album.
that was his first album?
I believe it was his
Okay,
first one.
okay.
Yeah, and he and Rusty Young were just gonna disband POCO,
Right.
and put out an album, I guess called like the Young Cotton Band or something like that.
This is what, late 70s, right?
Yes, 79, I think. And but the record company says, whoa,
Yeah.
you owe us another album as POCO or whatever.
Right.
So
They knew that Rusty Young and
Paul Cotton.
Paul Cotton wasn't going to sell as a...
Yeah, exactly.
As
Nobody
a
knew.
name.
Nobody knew who they were.
Nobody
I guess.
knows, yeah,
Yeah.
right.
So anyway, they put out this little album called Legend.
Right.
Well, lo and behold, it spawns a top 20 hit,
Yeah.
"Crazy Love," with Rusty Young on vocals,
Yeah.
which he hadn't been
see,
doing. He
I
wasn't a
didn't-
singer.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he came.
That makes sense.
Yep. So that was their biggest hit so far, and then Paul Cotton's "Heart of the Night" is on here as well. Great song.
And that was a hit too.
That was a big, that was top 40 for
Top
sure.
40.
I don't know how
Yeah,
far it went,
yeah.
but it was
So
top 40.
So finally, after so many, after 10 years,
Yeah, 1968 is when they started, and I
Yeah.
think
69
69
was,
might have been when
Picking Up
the Pieces came out. They finally struck gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, unbelievable. And this album, I know for sure, was designed by Phil Hartman.
Oh, really?
This was one of Phil's,
Yeah, I
for
never-
sure.
Ah,
It's the
cool.
one that I know.
And then they put out, I know they put out one about the Civil War.
Yeah,
didn't
they did Blue and Gray.
Blue and Gray.
Love that album. Great album. They put another one out along the same lines. There's so many, I can't remember the
Yeah.
name right now. But
You got them all here.
I have them all. Yeah, they're all stacked up somewhere. Anyway, now, so far, most of their albums, as far as I was concerned, were very, very good to decent,
Listenable.
listenable.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I
then,
sort of cut off just around
yeah,
Legend myself.
okay,
Just because of
yeah.
You
But
know.
Blue and Gray and God, I can't remember the other one. Were excellent albums.
yeah.
But then they put out these two albums. One called Ghost Town,
Oh yeah.
which was okay.
Yeah.
But then they put, as far as I'm concerned, this dud out. I had to bring this up, right? It's called Inamorata.
Ah.
Couple of good songs on it. Days Gone By. My favorite on here is Save a Corner of Your Heart for me. Another Rusty Young composition. But
Right.
really had that 80s sound to it.
Yeah.
Sync was added to it and stuff like that.
A lot of bands went that route.
Yeah, not my favorite. If you ever buy a POCO album,
Don't buy this one.
well, make it your last one.
Drum machines, probably.
Oh, it was terrible.
Synths and
Yeah.
all
As far as
that.
I'm concerned,
Yeah.
there are some POCO nuts who like it,
Oh yeah.
and there are a couple songs
There
on here
always
that are
is.
good.
There's always
Yeah,
somebody that likes that kind of
exactly.
that sound, but
Yeah,
I'm
but-
not one of them.
yeah. But this, you know, I only bought it to fulfill my collection.
Yeah.
Other than that,
Yeah.
you know, that's the way it is. Anyway, so we ran through that. Then the reunion happens.
Okay. Is that when that concert was, or that one?
No. This is actually a reunion of all the original players,
Okay.
including Mr. Meisner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
They-
think I've seen some live video on YouTube of that.
Yeah, they did a
Randy
few.
Meisner, and they all kind of looked older, and
Yes, yeah. Well, the biggest
but they
hit.
sounded good. But
They sounded good, yeah. Actually, well, Richard Marx. Everyone remember Richard Marx had
Oh,
something
yeah.
to do with this album. He
Oh,
was
really?
a big POCO fan.
oh, was it really?
He wrote one or two of the songs on here.
Now let's see. There's stuff I don't know.
Yeah, and there are a few hits on this album, so they hit the top 40 again. Call It Love.
Oh yeah.
I-
Oh
I-
yeah.
again,
I know that song.
sung by Rusty Young.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think he wrote that one. I believe somebody else did. I don't know if it was Richard Marx or not.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm wrong with that. I can't, again,
Oh yeah.
I'm old. I can't remember. You know what that's like,
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I
really-
can't remember
I'm really
everything.
old if he's
yeah.
old.
Yeah. But this album had, Call It Love on it.
Yeah.
Big hit for POCO.
Yeah, that was a good song.
Yeah. Another one that was on here, When It All Began.
Oh yeah.
That one, I think that one was written by Richard Marx. It's basically a story of POCO.
Okay.
Yeah, it's basically what it is. They even mention their own name in the.
I wouldn't have heard any of those albums at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Not a bad album.
Yeah.
You know, again, Rusty Meisner actually, Randy Meisner, he wasn't erased from this one. His actual his actual photo is on
He's
there.
not a dog on this cover.
No, we have Jim Messina,
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So on here.
Yeah, I did see some of that live
Yeah.
on YouTube.
Yeah, so all the original members are on this album. It was a one-off. They did a few concerts.
Like you said before, Rusty Young had just passed away
Yeah.
a couple of years ago or last
No,
year.
just a few months ago.
A few months ago.
Yeah,
and,
in the spring.
And Paul
Paul Cotton passed away about a month or two ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so
weird.
right behind each other.
Wow, that's really strange.
Rusty, of course, was a driving force in the later
To keep it
days.
going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he had the rights to the name or something. He could use it. They put out
They just put out a new album, or a new
a
album.
newer album.
Newer
yes.
album.
Yeah.
When did it was just released?
This one
recently?
a few years ago, but
Few
not
years.
not very long ago. It's
Yeah.
called All Fired Up.
Okay, and you just got that.
I just got it, yeah. Right here. Songs written by Rusty Young, because
Yeah.
he's the only original
Yeah.
member in the band. Paul Sundgren, who's been playing with them for years. Just a little shiny there.
Yeah, we got the shot.
There we go. Yeah, Paul Sundgren wrote a great song on here. And a guy called...
Yeah, you got to talk about that.
Yeah, I'll talk about that one in a second. There's another guy called Michael Webb.
Okay.
Michael Webb's basically a session musician he lives in Tennessee.
Okay.
And I actually spoke to his wife on the telephone once when I was working in a call center.
Oh yeah.
She called up, she said her name, I think it was Annie Webb. And she was calling from Tennessee.
Oh yeah.
And I just put two and two together and I said, "You're not Michael's wife, are you?" And there was a pause on the phone.
Freak her right out.
Yes. She said, "Yes? How did you know that?" And I told her the story of, I was a big POCO fan and he had played on there, right? Yeah.
I see it's 2013, so it's been out for a little
Yeah,
while.
it's a little while, but that was their last,
Yeah,
their last
hard,
album.
hard to get, I would
Yeah,
imagine.
well, it was hard to get. I had to get it from Germany,
Yeah, I
actually.
can see it on Germany.
Yeah,
Here.
they only made a few copies, and it's a double album.
Now there's a song called Neil Young here, so you'll have to talk about that.
Yeah, there's a song called Neil Young on this album. Well, Rusty Young, apparently a lot of his fans would always ask him if he was related to Neil.
Right on.
He wasn't, of course.
No,
Neil's
no.
from Canada,
Yeah.
Rusty's from Colorado or somewhere,
Yeah.
right? So anyway, I guess he got tired of it and he wrote this little ditty called Neil Young, which is actually a great little song.
Yeah.
Basically, he says Neil Young's not his brother, but his mother wished that he probably was because they'd have lots of money.
Right.
A little more money than the POCO members ever had, at least the ones that stuck with POCO.
I saw him interviewed once, and he was talking about. He said, "I am not Neil Young's
Yeah,
brother.
yeah.
And there was a little interview, and I thought it was kind of funny.
Yeah. And you can hear most of these albums on Spotify
Oh,
if
yeah.
you don't have the albums or the records. The one I think there's two that are not on there, and my favorite is not.
Is that right?
Yeah, not in Canada anyway.
Okay.
It's something to do with licensing and
Okay.
rights, I guess.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I can't find it, or I haven't been in the last few
Yeah,
times I've
yeah.
looked. I don't need to look. I've got 2 copies of this. I've got the CD, and
Yeah,
you know, and all the
Yeah.
some of the best songs are on some of the compilation albums that I have.
So that gives us a little insight into POCO. Like I said before at the beginning, I don't see too much on POCO. And what's that POCO collection over there? You got-
Oh, this one here. This
Yeah,
was
this is a compilation of some sort.
It's a compilation. They have many, by the way. Very Best of
Yeah,
POCO is a
I
good
know.
one to pick up if you want to listen to their earlier
I'll hold
stuff.
that up.
Yeah, sure.
This is called, what's it
The
called?
Collected. Collected, yeah.
POCO Collected, and it's a 4-sided album, or two albums, 4
Yeah,
sides.
yeah.
And it's got, you say it's pretty well all.
Oh, everything from when they started right up until this last
yeah,
album. Neil Young is actually on there.
last
Yes.
song. Honky Tonk Downstairs live.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And starts off with picking up the pieces and a few from that album. You
Yes.
better think twice. So
Yeah.
that's if you were looking for one POCO album, this would probably
That would be a really good one
Yeah.
that spans their whole career.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's unreal.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, it's beautifully laid out.
nice
Yeah.
album.
The vinyl there, if you want to take it out, it's colored vinyl that's in there. I guess it's supposed to be gold, but
It's gold, but it looks like kind of like muddy water.
it does. Yeah. It's probably the best they could do. Apparently, these are. It's a company in the Netherlands that makes these. They're actually, yeah. If you look at the insert, it tells you what albums that they have put out. But
Must have taken that.
and the sound's good on it, by the way. It's not just something that was thrown together. There was a
It's real-
little,
It's heavy duty.
yeah, 180 gram vinyl.
I don't know what color you call that, though. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not really. I think it's supposed to be gold. But,
Yeah,
you know, don't quote me on that. I'm a little colorblind.
We're
so-
missing one of the albums.
Yeah, it's on my turntable.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I'm reaching in there, and there's nothing
Yeah,
there.
it's not there now.
So that's
Yeah.
that's a little history and a few of the albums of POCO. So till next time, so long.
Ciao. This, I mean, now it contains one of their earlier hits, right? Picking up the pieces, right? No, what do we got on here?
Oh, we got.
I apologize. Okay, let's cut for a second.
Okay.
Which one's this one got? I can't. I should get my other glasses.
You get it too.
Yeah, I can't read.
So this album has. And then we got POCO 7, which is one of my favorites, kind of a rocky song. And we have Rosa Cimarron is on here. So I got that mixed up.
Yeah,
Fucked that up.
you did.
I did.
Yeah, Rose Cimarron is on the
Yeah.
one I just showed.
So I have been building up my CD collection on POCO. I've got 7 so far. And this is a twofer that I just got in the mail, and it's got the Rosa Cimarron on it and
No,
Cantamus.